What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Two Flew West. I'm Donnie B. GotDaBeats. Here with my brother Nicholas Baker. We got these fabulous gentlemen in here today. Brother Tone, brother Mawty Maw from the DMV. These boys is banging, boy. These boys are tearing the music up out there, boy. How y'all doing, brother?
Doing good, man.
Doing good, man. Good to see y'all. Good to hear from y'all. Sure.
All right, likewise, man. So, what y'all in the DMV right now? What's the weather like over there, man? Talk to us.
Shoot, the weather's looking pretty good. I just came back a few days ago, and shoot, I'm blessed to be in some good weather. It's looking like around 70s. Granted, it is raining right now, so it's been a little. Yesterday was great. But then, yeah, today got a little bit. It literally just started raining
out of nowhere.
Out of nowhere.
That's what it's been like. I've been out here since like the whole month, and it's been random. It's been very sporadic type stuff. So it's hard to call it out here, bro. For real.
Okay. You gotta keep it balanced. Keep the balance. That's all. Out here, when we get the rain, once the rain stops, the rain stops. Like for good, you be gone for months at a time. Should be dying out here because it needs some rain.
Right. Yeah. Y'all out here jet setting, man. Where y'all like Tony, you touching down, Mawty Maw, you know what I'm saying? You was out for like a month. Like what's up, man? Y'all jet setters, man. Y'all be flying like that?
Yeah, we trying to move, man. Tony pushing me to get out the state. You know what I'm saying? Trying not to be stagnant with it, you know, because coming up, I was always so used to the DMV scene, but it's good to get out and see how everybody else is moving and stuff. So he definitely been pushing me to get out the state for sure lately.
Right.
Yeah, I just think it just does the spirit and even just your mentality. It just helps to go out there. Like for example, like I like going to LA a lot because, you know, when you're out there, I don't really know as many people. When I'm back home, I feel like a small fish, and that kind of motivates me. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, so what do I got to do to get from where I am to where I need to be? You know, and I feel like being in cities like that where you really got to push yourself and you don't have that same presence back home. You tell yourself, okay, like you just got to grind harder because people are doing it. You know what I'm saying? People are living in these nice homes. People are, you know, taking care of their families out there. You know, you just got to apply yourself. So that's the type of mentality I've been on.
Yeah, and that's real, man. And when you, like I said, when you touch down in LA, man, I'm gonna take y'all up the perch, man, because you know, Baker know, you know, that's my favorite spot in the city, man. And they opening it back up, so you know, I haven't even been back since they opened it back up, so it's about time we go back up there. But see the whole city, brother. That's my favorite spot
for sure. Probably be back there. I'm looking at between mid-June, so I'll probably be back there, and I think I'll probably stay like 2-3 weeks at that point. Yeah, so. Yeah, man.
That joint safe too. It's outside. It's a rooftop outside. Plenty of fresh air.
Oh yeah, I like that. Got to see the views, man. Literally, my whole business, you know.
Hey man, listen. My cousin put up a post today, actually, that I read. He was like, getting out of your hometown is like a life hack, because basically, when you get out of town, it's like you get rid of all the distractions and all the things that like keep you down. Even unconsciously, they're not trying to keep you down, but it just kind of is what it is. So when you get out of town, you're forced to like get at it. You know what I'm saying? And figure it out. So yeah, that's dope that y'all moving. A lot of people don't do it, especially from the DMV. A lot of people sit in the DMV and that's it. That be it. Like I ain't going nowhere. You know what I'm saying? And that keep you stuck. So
exactly.
Good to hear y'all moving around.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, so let's get into this, man. Like who is? Why don't you take the opportunity and introduce yourselves? What you guys about? Like, you know what I'm saying? Because we know y'all, you know what I'm saying, and we know how y'all put it down. But you know, for the viewers and people that are not familiar with you and your brand, talk about yourselves, man.
You start.
Yeah, go ahead.
I mean, I'm Mawty Maw. I came up from the DMV area. Really. A lot of my childhood years was in Greenbelt, Maryland. But when I started music, my dad is a jazz pianist, so it was always around. So at the age of 4, I started taking lessons and stuff. So that's kind of how I got acclimated into like, you know, learning like just simple things like just melody and how music worked and all the basic theory and stuff. But you know, my mom, being she worked at BET for so many years, she exposed me to a lot of popular music as opposed to just the jazz side, you know. So I started to like gain love for people like Michael Jackson's music. He was a big influence on me for real at a young age, and then as time grew on, you know, I started to just peep the things that I like personally, like, you know what I'm saying, like the type of music I like. So when I got to high school, I met somebody who had a studio, and it was like a fresh start with my whole musical journey type stuff. So and ever since then, I just been experimenting with my own sound, and I feel like I've gotten pretty good at it. So I love hip hop music. I love R&B music. I love the piano, and those are just some things that I feel like keep me in it. You know, because I love it so much that it don't feel like I'm working. You know what I'm saying? So it just feels right. I just love music for it.
Okay.
Nice.
All right. Tone, how about you?
What?
Man, my music story is pretty interesting because I never really, to me, I like to say like music to me was like, I ignored it when I was young. You know, like I was always around it. You know, I was singing in middle school choirs. I was playing guitar since I was 10 years old. But to me, it was like music was like that girl that likes you, but you're not really attracted to her. And then all of a sudden she just glows up and she's looking, you know, great. And now you're trying to see what's up. And she likes you back, but she's like, nah, this time you got to work a little harder to really get all of it, you know? So yeah, I was at Penn State from like 2011, 2014, and I came back home. I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do. And then I think I was I'm not gonna lie, I think I was a little bit depressed, you know what I'm saying? Because I just didn't know where my life was headed. And then one day, like out of a whim, I wasn't even thinking, I just went ahead and just bought a bunch of like equipment, you know, and just turned like my bedroom to a studio. And then I just started working. So I was working at Best Buy, and then that's when I met Baker. I met Ivy as well too. He was our general manager there, and he just randomly asked me, "What do you like doing for your pastime?" I was like, "You know what? I'm actually, you know, trying this music thing." And then he was like, "Oh yeah, send me some stuff." And I sent him some stuff. And then on my day off, he just called me. He was like, "Yo, you know, you got it." You know what I'm saying? I didn't know really what it was. And then he was like, "You know what? I'm gonna introduce you to Baker." Baker, you know, took me under his wing, and then he brought me to my first studio in Bowie. Shout out to Breeze, and he brought me to Breeze, and pretty much Breeze just, you know what I'm saying, was around there. He mentored me, tried to, you know, pretty much taught me the game in a sense. So and then from there, I was just still trying to figure out what I wanted to do. If I wanted to song. At first, I was just making my own music, but then I was like, I don't like how it sounds. So then that's why I started really getting to engineering without necessarily wanting to be an engineer. But it just, I say it just happened. Everything just started happening. And then I met Mawty. Mawty didn't even know when he met me I had just started music.
No, I think you just told me that this year.
Yeah, he found out this year. I was like, bro, like I was doing music for like 3 months, and then my brother introduced us to each other, and we just started working ever since. And yeah, so shoot, it's a long story, but fast forward, right now, I'm a producer, I'm an engineer. I've been working at a studio for called Safe House Studios. Shout out to Slopes. We've been working there. I've been working there for almost 3 years now. I've been doing the production. I picked back up the guitar. I've been, you know, just doing my thing, just meeting a lot of people. I've been blessed to work with a lot of, you know, top artists in the city. And then now I started to tell myself, okay, cool. Like now that I feel like I kind of conquered the city, now it's time for me to expand and just work with other people and collaborate. So that's where I'm at now.
Okay. I'm about to check you out, see what your beats be like, bro.
I'm getting the man. Another thing. So Donnie gave me a whole bunch. Like one day he was like, "Yo, just get a hard drive." I was like, "How many? Should I get a terabyte?" He's like, "Nah, get like 4." I was like, "All right, cool." Damn. So I got like 4 terabytes. And when I tell you he loaded so much stuff on there, you know how many years it took for me to realize what those even were? Like I didn't know what you put on my hard drive till like 3 years later, because I had no idea how to work them. I didn't, because you gave me like a whole bunch of contact sounds. I didn't even know what contact was. I didn't know I had to get contact to. Like it was, and then all of a sudden I was like, man, this man then gave me the holy grail, bro.
That's love, for real.
I still haven't gone through everything. It's a lot. So shout out to Donnie, man.
Hey man, appreciate you. But I'm gonna tell you right now, you should see if you say that now, you should see what my library look like right now.
Oh man.
Nah, for real. I was gonna say that intro beat crazy, yo.
I appreciate it. Appreciate you, man.
Sure.
You know what? We need to have like a little joint off topic, man. Just we schedule up something and we can just kind of chef up right quick, man. I'll show you what I'm working with too, man. Like, and I'm dead ass with that, okay? Because I already know what time it is. You know what I'm saying? So, like, you know, let's do that. Let's set that forward, man. Like for real.
Right.
And Mawty, you know, I bless you too. You know what I mean? Like it ain't even nothing. You know.
For sure, fam. I appreciate that.
Of course, man. Look, we gotta take care of each other, man. Like real life, man. And Big can tell you, like, you know, I've been like that since knee high, bro. Like, if I can help, I'ma help. You know what I'm saying? So that's
dope.
Yeah, but I definitely, I still am coming for. I want to see what you got, man. I might, you know, I'm working on a project too, man. So you know what I'm saying. I might probably have to pull from your repertoire.
Yeah, for sure, man. I got beats, I got loops, you know, original guitar loops too. You know, however you want to do it, I'm definitely down to lock in.
Cool.
Nah, that's what it's all about, man. Trying to make sure we keep each other linked in, keep each other plugged in, or whatever. Like, you know, Tone, you talked about like coming through the studio, and the thing is, like, it's always going to be about seeing something in somebody, right? Because like it wasn't a thing where just anybody gonna be able to like, okay, come on through, you know what I mean? Check the studio out, or Donnie gonna be like, oh, here you go, you know what I mean? You definitely got to see something first. You know what I mean? Like it's not just any Tom, Dick, or Harry can get, you know, that type of access. But it's like once you see it, it's like, all right, I gotta make sure I do whatever I can to make sure I get this person what I got. You know what I mean? And one of the biggest things we always was like, you know, I'm not Diddy. You know what I mean? I'm not saying I'm gonna take you to the moon and get you millions and get you on every platform, but I do got a couple connects. I do got a couple things that work. So boom, here you go. Open that door, and then that door opens another door. You know what I mean? And then as you move on, you do the same thing for the talent you see. And that's the biggest movement we've always wanted to see happen, like in the DMV, especially. It's just people opening doors for each other. Like it ain't no need to keep the door shut behind you. Like let people in. Let's work together. You know what I'm saying? So that's what's good. That's what's good.
Well, speaking of which,
go ahead, Donnie.
No, I was just about to say. Speaking of which, like talk about how you got started, guys. Like, I mean, I know Mawty, you already kind of dabbled in it a little bit, but I mean, was there any singular event that made you, boom? You know what? I'm gonna be in music. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, man. For me, high school, I went to DeMatha, which is like a powerhouse in sports.
Yes, it is. Hey, the hoodie with the blazer jump started with DeMatha, by the way. A lot of people don't understand that vibe. Like,
nah, that's real. That's real. I didn't know they started it there, but it's definitely popular now. Like, I see it all the time, and I'm like, damn, we used to do this every day. Like, just going to school in the morning, it'd be cold. You know what I'm saying? You gotta throw a hoodie on under the drink. But for me, like, one thing that really clicked it, as far as like me knowing how to put it together, was I wanted to play basketball, but at the end of the day, you know, my God-given gift is music, and I couldn't deny that. So when I got to DeMatha and didn't make the basketball team, I almost left to try and like chase that basketball dream for real. But when I look at it, I got a cousin who's like the same age, we like 8 days apart. That's his gift, basketball. So one thing that actually helped me kind of like come to terms with that chapter of my life closing was when I saw how much hip hop and sports intertwine and stuff. I looked at it like, damn, nobody here, everybody do something here, but ain't nobody really rapping or making no beats or making no music for real. You know, we had a DJ, shout out DJ Miles, but nobody was really rapping at the school. And it was so many friends of mine that were on the teams and stuff that always would say, damn, I wish we had a song like our song, like for our school, for our team and stuff. So one thing that clicked for me was like, my cousin played for DC Assault. That's like one of the most respected AAU organizations in the area. And I made a song for their team, just off some fun stuff. And I mentioned everybody's jersey number. Like I had a catchy line for everybody who was on the squad. I sent that joint like a group chat, came back to school, everybody was playing it. So it was like, damn, like I'm getting love. I didn't even expect nobody to really even like take it serious and nothing. I'm just talking my shit in the chat. You know what I'm saying? And so I come to school and it's like everybody heard it, and it's not even on SoundCloud or nothing. It's just an audio message pretty much going around. So I'm like, damn. And then my boy who actually had the studio stuff since like middle school came up to me one day and was like, oh, so we rap now. So that's kind of how like I started like figuring out. I didn't know you could even put nothing on that piff or put nothing on these websites. I just knew, I just knew I was talented, but I didn't even think he was serious when he came at me with the proposal and stuff. So that led to me meeting with his younger brother KP, who we're in the same year type stuff. We're the same age and everything. And KP always used to tell me about his brother who mixes and masters, and I should link with him. And I'm like, everybody say they know somebody, but it's like it just took. I think it was like the Super Bowl night, the one night that we linked up, because we came over here to watch the Super Bowl type stuff. And even before I knew bro did music, we just knew him as bro older, you know what I'm saying, big bro type stuff. So it's like we just always around but never really working. One day the Super Bowl was on, we didn't even watch that joint. We came up in his room, we was locked in, like we just in the same room we in now. We just locked in, and I just noticed my quality go from one point to a whole nother level, So that's when I was like, damn, I think we could really bump with these guys in the area who's making waves and stuff. I'm like, because I got the creativity, I just needed to learn how to put it all, like, you know what I'm saying, like how to put everything together type stuff. So for me, like when I saw I could tap into the sports world, I just saw how people would gravitate towards that, because everybody rap now, but it's like I just felt like that was a way for me to kind of like set myself apart and just get going. So that's how I got started making music for sports teams. I did like 3 back-to-back songs for DeMatha that did pretty well. Not in terms of sales or nothing, because it was all nonprofit, but the school loved it. To this day, I got parents from other schools coming up to me telling me how they appreciated their music. Like guys like Chase Young, who supported us since we was young, like, you know what I'm saying? Like young guys like Markel Fultz, all of them had a real love like for what we started. TTM was the group. So I'm not really repping that no more, but for those who were there, they know, you know what I'm saying? They know what that was. So that's how I got started in the music. And then, I did production too. So that's kind of how I got started and all that stuff. But the production just came from the piano and everything. So that's how I would say I got started in it, man. If I'm giving y'all my honest, like, that's how I recall it type stuff.
Nah, that's your story, brother. And like, yeah, man, be confident in that, brother. Let that out, bro. That is what it is, bro. Shout out to TTM, by the way, man. You know what I mean? Like, it's awesome. It's awesome, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Everybody has a story and it deserves to be told. So that's just that vibe, you know what I'm saying? And kudos and congratulations, man, to be celebrated and be, acknowledged for your work, man. For real. Really, at the end of the day, that's what we do it for. Just to be able for people to acknowledge you and say, hey, man, what you doing is dope. You know what I mean? So
for sure.
Yeah, once when you know, like once you get the first taste of it and what it feel like, and it's like, oh shit, they vibing what I'm doing. Like, okay. And it's like you want it more. You go after it more because it's like that. It's no feeling like that. It's like being on stage and getting that feeling where people vibing with your music and all that. Nothing like it. Nothing like it at all.
That's real. That's real, man.
Yeah. Tone. You up, bro?
Well, I mean, for me, I'll say yeah. So once I started, link with the right people, with Donnie, with Baker, with Breeze, and with Mawty as well too. Now the next step for me was, okay, cool. Like, all right, I'm getting started. So how do I, move right? So I was working with a simple program. I was using GarageBand, just learning how to, record vocals and such like that. Nothing major. And then eventually I transitioned to Logic, you know what I'm saying? So just to start getting that professional vibe. And while I was doing that, for me, the biggest thing was just networking, because after a while I realized, okay, cool, like I can make a little bit of money off of engineering, And at first I wasn't even really charging people. I was charging like $5, you know what I'm saying? Like little stuff just so I can get the practice, man. Like, and I was really hustling. I was like, when I came back to Maryland, I was going to PGCC, Prince George's Community College. It was to the point I was bringing my equipment to school every single day, and I was even recording people in the hallways. Like, I'll bring an extension cable, plug it in, and just record people from there. I was driving I was skipping school sometimes. I was driving to the Southeast. I was driving everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Like, barely charging people, just getting that connection in. And then one day I was taking a music class, and pretty much there was like, yeah, just find something to present. And I was like, man, I'm gonna do history of autotune. You know what I'm saying? And I started but it was a good presentation. Like I really went to detail. I started off history wise with like, you know, Roger Zapp, you know, like, you know, artists like that kind of had that, you know, certain vibe. And then of course I talked about T-Pain and talked about Share How It Was Accidentally Found, you know, a bunch of stuff. And I didn't realize like there was this person I thought he was in my class this whole time, right? Because he was always there. He just wasn't paying attention, but ended up being a artist we're good friends with now, Corey Niel. He, you know, he's tough. He's lit. He can sing his ass off. He got a nice following on YouTube. So after I did the presentation, like he approached me and some other dude, like this is when Vine was really like popping back then. It was like, yo, like it seemed like you know what you're doing, because I brought my microphone, I brought my interface to class, like a show and tell thing. So I was like, all right, you kind of know what you're doing. Like, let's start, you know, recording. So that's when I was like, okay, cool. I'm gonna need, you know, a space. So that's when I started recording in my infamous basement, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's so I started having everybody in there. Like till this day, we call it the music trap house, man.
Yeah.
I was getting people in there, and we was just, you know,
we'd have been there, man.
I started, you know, figuring things out a little bit. I was like, okay, I started, you know, YouTube Academy. I started learning about EQ, compression, reverb, all of that. Then I started getting to songwriting and then that's when I went back to Breeze. I was like, yo, like you got some time, I want to play you some stuff. And that's when I was doing like freestyles over songs. And that's when he realized he remembered like when I first came in there and then the difference. And he was like, whoa, like where'd you learn all this, you know, in this short amount of time? So that's why he was like, all right, bet, like let's really, you know what I'm saying, dive in, you know, and that's where he helped me work with my craft, you know what I'm saying? Like even when I was bringing mixes to them and he was telling me little things that you know that I can figure out. So yeah, so that was pretty much my the upbringing. That from there I started just networking with people in the DMV, you know. My main thing was like, okay, cool, like I gotta work at a studio. Because working at a studio, I'll be able to get that professional sound and I'll be able to work with more artists at a time. So I was like, okay, cool. So that's when there was only one studio I really wanted to work at. My man Slopes, and he's a producer. He was well known. What kind of draw me in there was that he had a studio in Lanham. So I was like, shoot, this is close to my crib. I don't really drive, you know what I'm saying? So that would be the way to go. And shoot, for like 2 years straight, I was just bugging him. And then one day he said, yo, I need an engineer. I sent him some stuff I did. He told me, he was like, bro, like of all the people that sent me stuff, like you had the best mixes. And I still back then wasn't really knew what I was doing. I just had the ear, you know? So eventually the studio opened up in Temple Hills. This was like what, 2018? And I've been there ever since. And from then I was like, you know what? Okay, cool. I got the engineering down pack at this point. Let me get into this production. Because people always ask me like, yo, you make beats? I'm like, nah. And after a while, I'm like, yo, I sound stupid.
Yeah.
What do you mean you don't make beats? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And then this one, I forgot which artist it was. He came to the studio. He was like, you got beats? I was like, nah. And he stopped his session. He's like, how in the hell do you not have beats and you work at a studio? He's like, do you know like how far you can get? You know what I'm saying? Like, and how much money you can make? You know what I'm saying? And I was like, shoot, you right. You know what I'm saying? So I picked up the guitar and I was like, this is when at this point, like guitars was the thing. You know what I'm saying? Like till this day, like guitar type beats, you know what I'm saying? Like the Rilo Rodriguez and Gunna, Lil Baby, they was all doing guitars. I'm like, man, I play the guitar. I might as well, you know, start making loops. So that's kind of how I started to get back into production. I was collabing with other people, and after a while, I was like, you know what, let me just start, you know, producing my own stuff. So that's where I'm at now.
You know what's crazy?
Man.
No, go ahead, Baker. Go ahead.
No, I mean, I'm just gonna say, listening, like the fact that y'all are like grinding for it. You know what I mean? Y'all are going after it, and you're paying your dues. Like so many people now in the industry don't want to do that. They going after the one hit, like trying to get that quick. You know, let me get a hit, let me get a dance challenge, let me get a TikTok challenge, and then, you know, call it a day. You know what I mean? But yeah, y'all putting in the work to actually like learn the craft. You know what I mean? And actually get better at the craft. And that's what's going to make you have longevity. Like no matter how long it takes to necessarily get that one, you're going to have longevity because you're learning all the stuff. Like you just said, Donnie gave you the dump of all the, you know, the tools, and it's taking you a while to get through it. But the fact is that they're not sitting there collecting dust. You're going through and figuring out how to use the tools. You know what I'm saying? So the timing is what it is. Like it don't matter if it's taking long because you're gonna know how to use all those tools. To where you know you give it to somebody else and they may pick 2 things out the bag that he gave them and be like, oh, that's all I'm gonna use.
Right.
You know, and if you just looked in the bag, you actually got everything in that joint. But you know, people don't want to take that time and make that investment.
Exactly.
And y'all are making the investment in yourselves and the craft, and that's gonna be the difference. You know what I mean? That's why you're gonna shine. That's why you're gonna rise up. That's why y'all traveling. That's why y'all making those moves, because you making the investment in yourselves to say we got to get better. We got to figure it out. We got to learn how to do this. You know what I'm saying? So big ups to y'all. You're like in that point, just because that doesn't happen a lot, honestly.
Exactly. Appreciate that, sir. Sure.
Yeah, and it's crazy because again, like you said, like, you know, we'd have been to the dungeon, we'd have been to the basement, bro. We are like, but the sound that was coming out the basement, even at that time, was like, oh, okay, you get that out of there, like, okay, you know what I mean? Like, to understand, like, and exactly like what Baker said, man, it's like, that's like, look, if I gave you a howitzer or a daggone Cuisinart, and it's like, okay, you know, normal minds probably wouldn't know what to do with that. Okay, cool. It's just like a microwave or something. Like, okay, whatever. You know what I mean? But to be able, like you said, taking you however long it took you, 2 to 3 years, at least you know, at least I know that you took the time to really try to, okay, at some point in time, we're going to beat the hell out of it to try to figure out, we got to get something out of this damn thing. And then you got it. It was like, oh, this nigga gave me the whole 9.
Like literally.
So it's literally, again, you wouldn't, as Baker said earlier, I wouldn't have gave it to somebody that I didn't think could crack the code, bro. Right. And you did it. And at the end of the day, it is what it is. But again, it's like Denny, what is it? What was his name, Baker? Denny Green? It was the coach, right? The Arizona Cardinals. Yeah, they are who we thought they were.
Oh, yeah. Denny, yeah.
You know what I mean? You are who we thought you were. Absolutely. And it's just like, to me, it's warm and fuzzies because it's like at the end of the day, I already knew. You know what I mean? Baker already knew. You know what I'm saying? And it was like, okay, it was a matter of time, and you got it. And just great to see you blossoming. And Mawty, like, just great to see you doing your thing too, brother. Like at the end of the day, that's why I was like, we gotta have these brothers on the show, man. Real live, y'all tearing shit up for real.
You gotta catch Mawty on IG. He be out there looking like Alvin Keys on the Jones, getting it in. I'd be like, yeah, damn, okay.
I appreciate that. For real.
All right. So moving forward, what's on your playlist? What are you listening to? Who do you like? It can be local, it can be national, whatever. Like, who do you vibe out to?
Shit. I mean, mine is it's like it changes so much, but like right now, I'm gonna tell you the truth. I listen to myself so much, and I'm not trying to be like the corny guy that says that. But it's like I listen to a lot of, like, as far as locally, man, I listen to my boy Young T, GSG. Nobody knows, you know what I'm saying? They don't know yet, but you know what I'm saying? He inspires me. His sound inspires me. I listen to whoever inspires me. You don't gotta be popping or any of that to be an inspiration to somebody. His sound is something that I feel like it's kind of overlooked because in the city you don't really get a lot of love unless you flaunting a lot of money around, or you known for doing this or that, like, you know what I'm saying, a lot of the wrong things sometimes. But Young T is on my playlist for sure. I gotta shout him out. Last Hope, go get that Last Hope. That's my dog. I listen to a lot of like Chris Brown. Chris Brown's a major influence of mine. Who else? I'll give you 3 more. As far as rap goes, I really like J. Cole. I like J. Cole's delivery, and Drake as well. And then I listen to a lot of old music too, though. So Michael Jackson, stay in the rotation. You know what I'm saying? That music never gets old. I try to listen to the people who like were able to sustain longevity, like y'all were talking about earlier, because that's the only influence you really want. Even though I also have a love for the like popular, like Lil Baby, Gunna, I got love for that stuff too. So you'll catch that in my playlist too. But the stuff that sticks around year after year, those are some of the names. You know.
I get it.
Stevie Wonder too for sure.
Oh yeah, well he's a legend. You know what I mean. So that's the deal over there, man.
Different, yeah, for sure.
Be a monster.
Yeah. How about you, man? What's in your playlist, bro?
Man, my playlist changes every week. I'm not gonna lie.
Right.
Like, I would say I'm a big Kevin Gates fan though. Like, I like it's just his cadence, the way he delivers and switches from rap to melodic, like literally in and out. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just something about him that resonates for me. Right now, lady, I've been listening to Blast a lot.
Okay.
That's my dog. Like, I listen to Blast. Yeah, like I think he's tough. You know what I'm saying? And he reminds me of the type of music I would like to make. You know what I'm saying? Real melodic singing, but he's just spitting. You know what I'm saying? And he's not talking, you know, all you know what I'm saying? He's not like he doesn't make his music complicated. You know what I'm saying? And then of course, you know, you got the guitar elements that's in there too. Who else I listen to? Lil Baby, of course. I listen to a lot of, you know, I like listening to Wayne. Wayne's one of my favorite artists, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Always listen to the classics, you know what I'm saying, like the Carters, the Droughts, you know, the Dedications. Who else, man? Off the top of my list, man, I don't know. Sometimes I'll just rant. Like, I would say, like, I don't really listen to much commercial music as much because most of the time I'm going back, I'm listening to mixes, you know what I'm saying? Did I mix this right? Did I do this correctly? Or I'm listening to Mawty, like, okay, do we need to do this with the drums and, you know, such like that? Like, most of the times I'm late when it comes to, you know, to music that just dropped, you know, so. Yeah, it changes every week. Ask me this question next week, is going to be a completely different list. I just did.
So, yeah. I left a lot out for sure.
Nah, but I think here's the thing that need to be said. Like, both of y'all are y'all at work when y'all in the industry. You know what I'm saying? So for you to be like, well, you know, like, I don't want to be narcissistic and be like, only listen to me. No, in order to perfect your craft, you need to listen to a lot of you. You need a healthy dose of you. Right. You know what I mean? To make sure that what you putting out in the universe is
right.
You know what I mean? So, you know, don't ever feel like you need to tiptoe around. Well, I mean, I really kind of only listen to myself. Like, at the end of the day, like, it's cool you listen to everybody else, but you need to refine your gifts. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, at least that's my take on it. You know what I'm saying? But you talking about King narcissist.
No. That's agreed. You definitely gotta listen to yourself, hear what you're doing, hear how you can perfect it. That's just what an artist does. I mean, I think the other part of it too is when you're listening to others, how you dissect the music. Like, you can listen as a fan, but you also gotta dissect it and say, okay, what's working? What's the formula? Like, you brought up Blacks, like, he got a formula, and you hear it. Every song Blacks got out is like a formula. It's like, okay.
Awesome.
You can tell what it is. He started a certain way. He got a 8-bar intro, and then he come in with like a hook, and then he go in like 2 verses. Like, it's a formula. Like, his album No Love Lost been on like repeat in my joint. And like,
I'm telling you,
listening to it, it's like he's not hella complicated, like you said, in what he does, but he in this lane that's just like, damn, that shit knock. You know what I'm saying? And it is what it is. It's working for him. Like, for me, I'm like, hey,
literally, you can put on repeat, like Overrated. I can put that song on repeat, and I don't have to stop it. You know what I'm saying? Like, catchy, everything just meshes well. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. No, that's what's up. That is definitely what's up.
With all that being said, though, guys, who is your dream collab? Like, artist or producer? Like, who do you feel like is who y'all would want to, like, you know, if y'all had the opportunity, it's like, you know what, no matter what, holy shit, this is it. Like, who is your dream collab?
For me, it's easy as far as the artist. Well, it's hard. Like, I would say it's between Chris Brown and Drake. For me, just because those are 2 artists that heavily influenced my generation for like the last decade, and almost like it looked like they're gonna go again. It don't seem like they about to die out. So for the artist side, them 2 for sure. And then dream collab as far as production goes, it would definitely be between. That's where it's hard. Like, it's definitely harder production wise because there's so many legends. Damn, you do your artist, bro. I'm gonna think about it. And I don't know. Like, I got.
I'm saying I'm like,
I mean,
artist, man.
Yeah, bro.
For me, I feel like as a producer, you can't even limit. You know what I'm saying? Like I'll say this, right? For example, like it depends. It's just like my playlist, right? Like it depends on the bag that I'm in. You know what I'm saying? Of course, I would like to have, you know what I'm saying, the Drake collab and the Chris Brown collab. Those are two great artists. Wayne for sure. You know, Kanye. But then you hear these new, like for example, Blast. Like right now, that's who I'm playing. So that's immediately when I'm making a beat. Those are the type of beats that I'm making. You know what I'm saying? Like even Pooh Shiesty. You know, to be honest, at first I was like, but I started listening to. I was like, yo, like I like the vibe and groove he gives, and then that persuades me to make more piano type beats like that. You know, Kevin Gates for sure. I'll say. Who else? I know I'm overlooking artists, man. Big Sean. I love Big Sean, man.
Yeah.
Big Sean. Janae Aiko would be tough too. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of, you know, like female artists, especially R&B, that would be tough. Shoot, Cola Ray. You know what I'm saying? Like it's so like I'm one of those, like at first I used to be like, man, I like this school version, like I'll say the new old school. You know what I'm saying? I say that the, you know, like the 2000s and early 2010s. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But then for after a while, I started give like these new artists their own props, because I'm like, yo, there's so much music that's out, but and it might not be your specific taste what they do, but they still find ways to create new or recreate what's out there, you know, and some way somehow I might not resonate to it, but the younger kids are resonating to it, and they're the future. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, after a while, I was like, even the DMV artists, I didn't really like live in the DMV until high school. So the DMV music scene never really, you know, got to me at first. But then after a while, I started taking my time and just appreciating it. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yo, like it might not be my taste, but there's some artists like they might have a specific form, but they spin bars. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I love to collaborate with whoever. As far as producers, I'll say, shoot, Kanye, Pharrell, Quincy Jones, of course, you know, and then you got like, you know, you got like the Wheezies, you got so many producers that,
that's a lot of people.
Yeah, and it's like they all have this specific style and specific vibe that I'm like, okay, cool. If I want to make this type of, I can go to that person, I want to go to this person, or I might not know that producer knows how to do this. It's just that they chose to stay in their lane. For example, like DJ Mustard, you know, like he stays in his specific lane. Another person I love to work with is DJ Khaled. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I feel like people, you know, give him a little slack because he might not necessarily be behind the boards or anything like that. But it's like, at the end of the day, you know, he's somebody putting certain pieces together. You know what I'm saying? Right. And I like the fact that, you know, he's loved by everybody. You know what I'm saying? That he's able to pick up the phone and call damn near anybody he wants to, because he's built a solid relationship and he spreads so much positivity. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's like I like to take from everybody and just find a way to just mold everything together, man. Another big artist I would love to work with was Nipsey, man. Like I was listening to Nipsey, so like I got him a little late to him. Like I think it was probably like a year and a half before he died. That's when I really started, you know, listening to him, just studying his cadence and the way his album was put together. That's another production, 1500. You know what I'm saying? They're amazing. You know, like the way that they sat down and orchestrated this man's album. You know what I'm saying? I was like, wow. So yeah, it's a lot for sure. And I'm looking forward to working with everybody too.
If you could only pick one, though, I'm saying Kanye West. That's my final answer for both sides. That just dawned back on me. So for one person, it would be him for sure. To me, his whole catalog, if you had to like weigh it up against to me, he has the most powerful catalog. That's just my opinion though. Like when you look at how he came in the game to where he's at now, it's like a full circle in a sense. And I think, you know, the way he rap, like he just reminds me so much of myself. Because when you're trying to do both rap and production, it's like, damn, like it ain't that many people that really could do both at a high level like he did. Right. You know what I'm saying? And not lose like no ground either one. You know what I'm saying? So if I could only pick one, that's who I would have to say.
Fair. That's a good one.
Yeah. So I just was thinking like, who would I, if I could? Because I was thinking I was separating the worlds, but I'm like, I can't do that. I gotta think about how I would go with.
Shoot, you know what I'm saying? I'm actually go 1500, bro. because at least I know that like
AOC.
they're gonna give me, you know what I'm saying, the hardcore type of rap vibe. They're gonna give me the R&B. They're gonna give me the instruments and everything. So yeah.
Did they do Roddy's joint?
Yeah, they did some of Roddy's joint too. So it's like, yo. Yeah, great question.
I think about them joints. Like when I think about that question, because you know it's always that thought of who would I even want to work with, right? Kanye's a great answer. I think definitely like what that experience would be past even the past, that's my dog. He gonna start talking in the background. Past even,
he like Kanye too.
Past what he can give you like song wise, like just the experience. Like for me, I would pick Jermaine Dupri. And I say Jermaine
as long as I know him.
Yeah, I stick with that because of longevity. The fact that he's been around as long as he's been around, he knows some stuff. Like he knows some stuff. You know what I'm saying? So just to have that session, I want to have the session where it's like, man, download me with what you know. Even if we don't come out with a song, I just want to be in the presence. So your process. And when you hear about his process and when he really dives into an album, like he's a true producer. And like that's not people don't do that a lot anymore, where you actually make the track, you like really are like into like the sound and tonal sounds of the drums, where you working with the artist to like make sure the sound fits the song, like really crafting the joint. You know what I'm saying? Like right now, again, we in a microwave society where it's like boom, beat, get on it, cool, we done. Right? He's doing stuff like when he pulling, like he working on the album now with Anthony Hamilton, right? And if you look at his IG where he's showing the sessions, like they in there cooking, like for real cooking though, like chopping shit up and like not, I don't mean literally, but you get what I'm saying. Like, they literally in the studio, like really putting shit together. Like, all right, what's the vibe of this joint? All right, this drum, this bass drum got sound like this. This snare got sound like that. All right, do that vocal again. You know, we should add this to the background. Add a string. And, oh, that shit fly. Like, that's the type of production that I love. Like that real, like we in here cooking together. Like those experiences to me aren't as, it doesn't happen as much now. Cause like I said, a lot of times it's like the way the industry works is like, all right, here go these beats, listen to them, tell me what you think you can get on, you get on it, boom. And there's nothing wrong with that. Plenty of great music has been made like that. But when you can sit down and like, honestly, you know, y'all were talking about After Hours, the studio. Like Donnie will tell you, man, we used to have sessions, man. Like we be in there like 8, 9 people deep till like 4 or 5 in the morning. Like just listening to music or putting tracks together and writing and like working. Like that type of session is just that's organic to me.
I remember we did that with y'all. Remember right before y'all left.
Yeah, that's what it was. You know what I mean? And that's why I think I would say JD, because I feel like he's that type of producer.
That's tough.
That's a great one. I definitely overlooked that, bro. Because he did Confessions too, didn't he?
Yep. Yeah.
Nah, he's different. He's different.
Very much so.
He's scary.
I'd say as far as me is concerned, artists, I'm on a whole different wave right now. Like artists, I'm thinking like my dream collab would be like Sting, freaking Eric Clapton, you know, Patti LaBelle. I'm trying to reach that. I want to go up there. I just want to go up there and be like, holy shit! Like, did you hear the new Patty Jones? Like, kind of like what Rodney Jerkins did with Michael Jackson with the Invincible album. Be able to bring them back, like, so that relative the younger folk. You know what I mean? Like, that's where I'm at. I'm like, yo, okay, cool. I would love that opportunity to work with this tier of talent or this person right here. You know what I mean? Artists are artists. I'm open to work with anybody as long as they cooking. You know what I mean? But as far as dream collabs, like I said, you know, those talents. But there was a joint as far as producers concerned when Jay-Z did the Blueprint 3. And I remember me and Baker had this conversation. It was one of the commercials. And literally the commercial was like Pharrell, Timbaland, Rick Rubin. They was all in the room sitting back listening. Rick Rubin sitting on the couch, laid out. That's to me my dream scenario. Like I'm like, no, I need a room where Rick Rubin, Quincy Jones, Timbaland, Pharrell, and Chad Hugo. Got to throw Chad Hugo in there too. Just Blaze,
Yeah.
Let me think of somebody. The Justice League. What is it? Organized noise, because people always leave organized noise out, bro. Like you can't, you cannot look past them gentlemen. You know what I'm saying? That whole team. Touch of Jazz. Can't, you know what I'm saying? Like it's just so wide open. But I look for, as far as people like exactly what Baker said. It's just like people who have pioneered, people who have created. Like that's like saying if because I'm a visual artist as well. I can do art and everything like that. That's like me saying everybody except Basquiat. I gotta get Basquiat in there, bro. Like, you know what I mean? So it's like, if you move in some kind of way, I want to work with you in some kind of way. You know what I mean? But it has to be credible, and it has to be somebody that has really kind of moved a lot of mountains, and that's just how I feel about it. So that's that.
Way to dodge the question, Donnie.
Well, you know what? Because that's what I've done.
Donnie said, "I need a Voltron of producers. Like, I need everybody. I want everybody in there."
And but you know who Voltron is.
Cool.
So, baby, you want the next question? You want me to take it?
Yeah, let's work with it. So, how do y'all feel about the state of the DMV music scene? I talked a little bit about a couple artists, about listening to DMV artists. How do y'all feel about how the DMV music scene is now?
I feel like, from what I know, because I know I don't know everything, I feel like we've been stuck at this point for like the last couple years, where I feel like we so close to busting this last wall open, and kind of becoming like what like places like Atlanta has become over years and stuff. Like Atlanta's been it for years, but I feel like the DMV has so much talent, but it's all in so many different, like it's so small too, that I feel like the reason why it hasn't become that yet is because everybody's so like, it feels like everybody's trying to fight for their own, and they feel like it's not enough space for everybody to do their own thing for real. So I think that's why and it's not enough going on here either. So I mean, I feel like we right there to the point where that type of stuff can start coming back. Because I remember, like, my mom used to tell me it was a whole lot more out here back when she was working at BET, and Bob Johnson was here in DC and everything. And they moved to New York, and people had to come here for for Black entertainment. Like, we was really like, it was here for real. But now it's like, I feel like the artists, like the style that we got, I'm not the biggest fan of what they're trying to call the DMV sound, because I feel like you shouldn't be able to like that. That it's way too basic to really pinpoint the DMV sound when there's so many talented people coming from this area. It's so like, it's separated. Everybody's separated, and I don't like it. I can't lie, I don't like that. It don't feel like there's any unity. So that's my opinion, to be honest with y'all. I feel like it's confusing, because you hear people will probably not even want to come here because of what the DMV sound is. Because the only people who's really getting any type of like credibility in terms of like, or gaining some type of notoriety are the people who are, it's like one specific genre that people glorify out here. And it's sad. You know what I'm saying? It's really sad, because if you come here, it's not that bad of a place. So I don't know why the trap is so, you know what I'm saying? Like, everybody's so heavy in the trap, but most of these people are not really even on that type of time. So it's like, why is that the sound when you got people like Malik Devarge out here who can sing their ass off? Or you got people like, you know what I'm saying? Like all kind of different artists like Riquel, or even take it back to like Trey Songz, somebody who came from Virginia. Like, it's so segregated. People don't even consider, you know what I'm saying? Like, why is it the DMV if we're not going to count Virginia? Like, you know what I'm saying? It's just weird to me. So I feel like it's segregated, and it should be more of a union, because we really are probably one of the powerhouses when you really look at it. Like, the talent that's came from this area, like the whole like DMV in one, like so much talent that I feel like the DMV sound is really like, it's kind of disrespectful for real. It's basic. I hate to say that, but the people that make that music, I'm not trying to discredit what they doing. I'm just saying it's way more than that out here to be able to just stand that as the sound. You know what I'm saying? So to me, it's segregated, man. That's how I see it. But he would know. I want to hear what he said, because he around so many different artists. I know what I know. You know what I'm saying?
I get it. Yeah, and your opinion is definitely, look. Your opinion is your opinion. Don't let anybody steer you from that.
That's real, for sure, family.
All right. I'll say I'll say it's a little interesting, right? Because I see what I say being immersed in that the music, especially like the trap type of genre. I think there's a lot of talented artists in that retrospect, and I feel like if they were from other cities, from like Memphis or Chicago or wherever, they would pop. I think from traveling and just going to other cities and just seeing how they work, I think one main issue is the city itself, right? Like when you think about it, at the end of the day, when you think about DC, you think of the White House. You know what I'm saying? It's a political, you know what I'm saying, area. Like I remember even when I try to throw like events and at specific venues, and they would tell me about curfews, about how loud the music should be, and something. I'm like, yo, this is a club. Like, what do you mean? I got to turn the music down at a certain point, or it got to be R&B. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of venues will say that. Like, look, all right, cool, but it can't be right. It got to be R&B, this and the third. And then and then when I started going to like LA and Atlanta more, then I started thinking about it. I'm like, when you go out there, it's a lot more organized. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like at the same time, yeah, like what Marty said, like there's different styles that's out here. The issue is, let's say you have these artists that are not in the trap, or you know what I'm saying, and such like that. They don't necessarily have the funds to elevate themselves the way that they need to, right? So I think that the DMV needs more structure. You know what I'm saying? You go to Atlanta, you go to LA, you got headquarters. You know what I'm saying? You got an Atlantic Records office, you got a Universal office, you got all these different offices that have all these A&Rs and managers and PRs that are just readily available to go to these venues where people perform. Be like, yo, you're tough. You'll pull up. You know what I'm saying? Like at the end of the day, it's like the DMV, like it's kind of like they fending for themselves. So naturally we don't have enough resources. So what happens? Now everybody starts fighting for the resources. You know what I'm saying? So just to give a different outlook, because I think Marty expressed it really well. I'll say that's another outlook that I really see it in, because I feel like if we had that structure, if we had the right people, the right gatekeepers, you know what I'm saying? Like managers, A&Rs, like if they start building bigger conglomerates, you know what I'm saying? Even the producers, to just create these certain avenues for artists to really be heard, I think it's going to make a difference. Because what's going to happen, the way that a lot of these artists pop is either they go to another state, or somebody from another city peeks in and be like, oh, I like this guy, I'm gonna take him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Ari Lennox, you know what I'm saying? Oh, J. Cole, oh, I like this one. Boom. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Just like that. You look at IDK, you look at Corday, they don't really live here. You know what I'm saying? They in Cali, they in other cities. You know what I'm saying? They're from the DMV, but they know they can't do it here because there's no structure. There's no platform that's readily available. Like, and that's not going to BS you, because people BS a lot. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I'm going to take you there. I'm going to put you on to this person. I'm going to put you on to that person. Why can't you be that person that just has that position, that A&R from Atlantic or whatever? Like, why don't we have that here? You know what I'm saying? And I feel like once we figure that out and we're able to bring that back, then I feel like we're going to start seeing a change. And I think we're getting there too, but it's going to take effort from everyone, not just the artists.
Do you feel a lot of it has to do with the fact that people need to catch up, or do you feel that it's really going to take a person or a series of persons to come in and just be themselves?
That's I might say the second one. The reason I say that is because when you say catch up, you saying as far as like in a music standpoint, or like just as far as the business?
Well, okay. Allow me a second to clarify. So in my travel, like I've traveled just like y'all. Baker's traveled just like y'all. You know what I'm saying? We started at a point where y'all came up and we came through. And I think that, but me speaking, for myself in this is that I think the difference is that when I came to LA, I immediately understood the difference. At least my perspective on the difference is that people out in LA, it's like, look, at the end of the day, I don't give a shit. Like, look, I'm paying for this, so we're gonna do it this way. You know what I mean? And I think coming from PG County, coming from the DC area, it's like we trust that, because not necessarily say we don't know, but it's like we trust that. Okay, well, well, they say there's no noise ordinances. We don't really want to get in that kind of mode, that mode, or we don't blase. You know what I mean? Like it's a lot of, I don't want to say it's hogwash and nothing like that, but in the grand scheme of things, it's just like we trust that for people to perpetuate what we should already know. Mm-hmm. Whereas, you go get a venue, let's say for instance, Park on 14th. I don't even know if it's still standing. Park on 14th, and Tone, you buy the joint out, and you like, hey, we want to throw this event. And they like, well, you got to turn it down at such and such and such a time. Wait. First of all, I paid for this establishment until X time. Why do I need to turn it down? This is my party. You guys need to be reinforcing that on the back end, as far as you being the person that paid for the time. You get what I'm trying to say? Whereas, when we were coming up, it was like we didn't know what we could or could not really do. At least that. And again, I don't want to speak for Baker. I'm gonna speak for at least in my perspective. I didn't know what we could or could not do, so it was just more like, okay, well, they said we can't do it, so
right.
Whereas now it's like, I wish I would have the opportunity to go through an event in the DMV. I guarantee you, right now, it's gonna be nothing like anybody ever seen before, because it's just one of those things that no, I'm gonna be an entire asshole back there, because it's like if I'm paying money for this shit, we gonna be on, right? And then you're not gonna be able to tell me what I'm gonna do with it.
Exactly. Yeah, I agree.
So that's my point with the question. Again, sorry, because I feel like I steered your answer.
No.
But do you feel that it's because of it is what you know what I mean? Like you waiting for a person, you waiting for everybody else to catch up in the DMV to where we should be? Or do you feel it takes a person to come in and tell people exactly what it's going to be and then be themselves?
I think it's a little bit of both, I'll say. In a sense, to answer your question, I see where you're coming, because the reason why I say it's a little bit of both. Well, the catch up part is, wow, that's a good question. I think more so like structure is something that we need, and I feel like if we have a conglomerate of people coming in and seeing how, like you said, like going to LA and seeing how things work and how things are supposed to be orchestrated, and having more of the know-how and the know better to come down and structure it in a certain way, because people can catch up, but it's like if they don't know what they're supposed to catch up to, they might just blow past the, you know what I'm saying, what's supposed to be brought on to, So I think people need like a it's like, you making a puzzle, you need to see what the picture looks like in order to create the puzzle.
Very good.
So and I think that's what we need, because we trying to catch up to everybody, but at the same time, these other artists, they don't need to do as much work as certain DMV artists, because there's certain establishments or certain people that's in the right positions to get them where they need to be. I can be like, yo, Mawty, don't worry about the how we dropping the music or where it's gonna be playing. Just drop the music. I'll take care of the rest. You focus on your creative side. You know what I'm saying? But when it gets to the point that like, okay, cool, I'm here. I'm making the music. Okay, I'm about to do, these radio challenges, and I'm about to go to this venue, this and the third, and then that's it. That's all they go to. You know what I'm saying? There's nobody. Sometimes they might crank, they might be good, but then all you got to do sometimes is good to certain A&R, be like, yo, you heard this before? Oh, nah, what's this? You know what I'm saying? And I feel like we don't. I'm not gonna say we don't have it, because I know there's people out here working hard. You know what I'm saying, to get their name, you know what I'm saying, known in order for them to do that. But in a public eye, we don't have that. So hopefully I think I answered it in a certain way. Just think it's the structure that we kind of need.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sitting here like I'm listening, and I think it's a complicated answer when it comes to the DMV music scene. Like I've seen it in a lot of different stretches. I've seen it in a lot of different lights. I think one of the realities is that the DMV, I mean, the areas, I mean, like Marty said, it's like segregated already.
Right.
Like, Baltimore don't consider itself part of the DMV. VA, Virginia Beach, VA is totally different than, Alexandria, VA. Yeah. Right. And then you got Maryland that, I mean, like I said, Baltimore don't even think it's part of Maryland. It's like its own state. Right. And then you got DC, and it's like people from DC, like, don't say you from DC if you from Maryland. And it's all of that. Right. So you take all of that. So with that, I think the reality is that area will never be Atlanta.
Right.
That's okay. That's all right though.
Mm-hmm.
Atlanta is what it is. It's one city. It's bigger than DC, let's say, and like, you know, people can just say I'm from Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? Whether you're from East, West, whatever, it's Atlanta. Cool. They could maneuver like that. I think DC got to take the power of what, or the DMV got to take the power of what it is and just use it for that. So like, for instance, like you were talking about a sound that's coming out, that's the DMV sound. I promise you in Cali, nobody knows what that is.
Mm-hmm.
It's real.
When you say, oh, I'm from the DMV, you know what they say? Oh, y'all got that go-go.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for real.
That's if you really want to know, that's the DMV sound.
Right. Right.
And that is what it is. It's been there for years. It was born in DC. That's the sound that has like grown and like worked itself, and it doesn't spread far. People know it. It's not popular far, but if you want to know what the sound is, that's the sound. So the reality is, if you want to build that infrastructure and you're just looking to make a DMV sound, it's already happened. But you see where that got them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, go-go bands are still playing in the city. They're getting their money, cool. And there's an infrastructure. They can get in clubs. They work together. There's promoters. There's like club owners. There's a whole infrastructure that's set for go-go music.
Right.
The problem is that outside of that, everyone's trying to make DC or the DMV feel like somewhere else, and that's why people leave. The thing is, you're probably going to have to leave, but that doesn't mean you can't rep DMV. And I think that's where the winning is going to happen. More people have to rep DMV and then applaud the people who've made it. All right, Lennox in the DMV, she made it. Let's applaud her as a DMV artist. Wale made it out. Let's applaud him as a DMV artist. You know what I'm saying?
Logic. Logic.
Yeah.
Logic is a DMV
everybody talks around Logic, but
they do.
But think about all this success that we just talked about in 3 artists, right? But people still saying, damn, the DMV got to get there. Oh, the DMV, we got to make it. It's like, nah, the DMV that made it, people just don't acknowledge it because people want to be the first to say like, oh, it was me. I did. I brought the DMV up, and now the DMV is known because of me. And it's like, that I don't know if that's ever gonna happen, like in the way that people are trying to make it happen. But if people came up and started applauding each other, like Mawty, if you come out and it's like, damn, Mawty from the DMV, damn, Tone came up, he from the DMV, Riquel came up, oh, she from the DMV, like, and you just kept doing that, the movement happens organically. It don't need to, like, everything else happens. Like, think about this. As artists, have y'all gone out and sought out somebody who does like graphic design and that's like their only hustle? Have you sought out somebody who wants to be like in public relations that may not be popping right now, but that's what they want to do? Public relations, right? Or somebody who's shooting videos. Like there's people out there, but nobody's working together to say like, okay, we all from DMV. Like you a publicist, cool. Like I'm an artist. I'm trying to do this. Let's work. I know you don't have no artists. I don't have a publicist. Let's work together. Like, and we blow up. We from the DMV. Boom. You know what I'm saying? Like, it has to be organic like that. Like Atlanta, I'm pretty sure Atlanta didn't have a meeting and say, hey, all Atlanta artists, we actually gonna blow up and come up together. Because if you think about it, in the big like blow up of Atlanta, all them artists didn't sound alike. Ludacris didn't sound like Jermaine or T.I. Like they was just doing their thing and they worked hard to blow their music up. Didn't give a shit about if they were first or not. It was just like, cool, I'm rapping Atlanta and I'm blowing my music up. And then next thing you know, you just heard a lot of artists, Outkast, Goody Mob, like all of them were blowing up at the same time. So if everyone blows up at the same time, that's how the movement happens. It ain't no secret sauce or no meeting that you got to have to say like, we got to do this. Yes, just applaud each other. Like that's really all it takes is like, yo, that's Mawty, he killing it. But what ends up happening is A&Rs do come to DC, by the way. They do come to the DMV and they ask people, have you heard of Mawty? Now the problem is that people be like, nah, never heard of him. And they might have your song in their car. But the problem is they like, it's not me. I want to be first. I want to be the one you come looking for. Be like, I ain't heard of Mawty, but I heard of this dude. I heard of this girl who sings, and they try to switch it, and then the A&R is like, okay, cool, I'll holler at you. Here go my card, yeah, get at me, and they leave because it's like, damn, if I can't get one person to co-sign someone else, what am I doing here? You feel what I mean? So it's like it's a complicated thing that's like, I believe that there's this working together thing and not a segregated, but I also believe that it's not that. It's like people just gotta really do what y'all doing, like do the work, do the plan, learn the craft, travel, be in different, like when Biggie and Jay-Z was coming up, you know where the fuck they were? DC and Maryland.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying?
Check the raps.
Hampton, like they down in Virginia doing shows, like showing up, being there, just being around, like, hey, what's good? They didn't just stay in New York and be like, I'm gonna blow New York up. No, you gotta travel. You gotta get other people outside of your town to believe in you so that you can blow up your town. Now, when you go to Cali, be like, oh, I'm from the DMV. Yeah, we doing it. Oh, I got a couple artists out there. We got some things. Let me play some of this stuff for you. Two Flew West is all about that. We both in Cali now, but we from the DMV. But a big part of what we doing is trying to bring DMV people on to be like, hey, we in Cali, so we're gonna give you some shine over here as well as there. You feel what I'm saying? Like, applaud the people who killing it. And that's how you make a movement. And I think that's the piece that's lost on a lot of people. It gets stuck, and that's why we can't move forward as a DMV music movement. And I'll get off my soapbox now.
No, you're good. No, and we got to understand these nuggets. You know what I'm saying? Again, I'm a big fan of nuggets, man. Nuggets of wisdom. And you just shared
take your time. Take your time with what you're saying, man. What?
Nuggets of wisdom?
You said I'm a big fan of nuggets. I'm like,
I mean, it's nuggets, bro. Okay, look, nuggets of wisdom. At the end of the day, look, the reality of it is this. Like, and he shared a very big issue with the DMV, and a lot of it is self-inflicted, right? And if you look at it from an advertising and marketing perspective, because again, when you start realizing that the music industry is about music business, more about that than music itself, it's a layup. Right? That's like saying, well, all of the individual artists in the DMV, if everybody made hamburgers, because McDonald's is known for making hamburgers, that means you can't start a hamburger spot?
Right. No. Right. Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and it goes to that. It goes to the point, like Russell Simmons said, regardless of if not anything else, make sure that your product has integrity. If the product has integrity, everything else will lay itself out at the end of the day. So, Tone, if you got the best beats, you ain't got to argue with nobody. Put the beat out. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, it is what it is. People will come, and so it circles back to the whole conversation that, like you said, Atlanta with T.I. and Outkast and all of these other. They weren't worried about nobody else. Why? Because they was worried about them making their music. They were, you know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, they was being realistic and genuine about the fact. Like, again, the time that me and Baker was rocking in the DMV, it was like I could run the list down. I'm sure he could run the list down. And it'd be credible because it's a part of the DMV culture. But at no point in time did we ever alienate or be like, oh, now we better or not. No. At the end of the day, these are the brothers and sisters that's up with us. And I think that was the biggest part of the DMV is why it's so separatist, because everybody in a space of time started to be like, as he said, oh, well, nah, well, holla at my cousin do beats. Oh, my folks do, you know what I'm saying, they rap or so forth. You know what I mean? And it's not genuine. So when people come and they like, oh, you heard of Wale? Nah, who that? Now you sound stupid.
Yeah, right.
Now I'm like, okay, now I don't even work with this cat because you ain't even heard of this cat. This cat pulling numbers.
Or they be like, oh, Wale, yeah, he ain't from DC though. He from Maryland.
Right. Yeah, stupid stuff like that. It's crazy. What's the point of saying that?
He doing numbers, like who gives a fuck? Like at this point, like you know what I'm saying? Like he winning. Get that man his flowers. Like he winning. He done it. Respect what he got. Like,
but
shit, man.
But it also shows you ain't doing your homework either. And that's the thing that I always say to us. Like, if you check. I'd be like, yo, I do my homework on every fucking thing moving, bro. If I can, I'm a study. Like, who is that? I ain't never heard of Cuz before. Let me see what they doing. That's what I was like, you know what I'm saying? Like Marty, I ain't never really had the opportunity to sync up with you personally, but I did my homework. Right. I did my homework. I was like, I gotta get prepared for this interview so I can make sure I know who I'm talking about. And so you know what I mean? Like, oh, okay, Cuz, okay. I see, okay. What he's trying to do there. Boom, 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 boom. I literally did like a highlight film. Kobe, watching people up on the screen, like, oh, his footwork dope. Right. Oh, okay, like how he did that spin right there. That's dope. You know what I mean? And I think that's the thing that separates, you know, people that are credible in the DMV from people that are aspiring in the DMV. And I chose those words very carefully and tactically. You know what I mean? And the thing that I think that, and I don't want to speak for Baker, but I feel that I can with this is that that we love about both y'all is that y'all understand with the work that comes with it. Y'all done y'all homework too. You know what I'm saying? And network and have done y'all thing. So again, this puts y'all in a better position. But again, like it's being said, it's just make sure that you stick to that and make sure you understand what comes with that. It's just you keep doing your thing and make sure that you don't fall into the bear traps that other people are laying out. You know, because it's not for everybody.
That's facts. That's facts. Y'all keep pushing. Putting that credible stuff out, putting that quality out, it's gonna happen. And then reach out to people who aren't doing what you do. That's the other part. Like, reach out to a publicist, reach out to reach out to an artist. If y'all don't know DeMont Pender, like, look up DeMont Pender. We did an interview with him, but he like paints with everybody in the DMV. He's at every show, at every artist that comes to town. He's done.
He got everything hanging in fucking after hours.
Yeah, I remember.
Every picture, all the pictures up at after hours. DeMont Pender.
Yeah, he did.
Look up Kitchen Crane. Like, that's a black-owned business in the city. Yeah.
That's down from my house.
Yeah. They don't do what you do, but they're people making moves in the city, right? Mm-hmm. So could you do something that could connect with him? Like, if JR from Kitchen Crane is doing something, if he's putting together a show, if he's putting together a commercial, you know what I mean? Like Marty, you said you did the song for for the school. Like, it's the same hustle. Like, cool. Yo, you got Kitchen Crane. Like, y'all got any commercials or something? Like, what's good? Wow. The clothing, like, this is P Stew. P Stew is a radio guy. This is his stuff. Donnie got on Lifers. That's a DC owned brand. Like, you feel what I'm saying? Like, reach out to those people who aren't doing what you do. Watch how your brand blow up. I'm telling you, like, it's just the thing where you like, cool. I don't need to reach out to a bunch of artists because I'm an artist. I'm a producer. If people want work, we're gonna find each other. We're gonna meet somewhere. Right. It might be a studio in Cali, and you'd be like, oh, you from the DMV too? Damn, we both out here. Let's get this work.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Build with other people, man, because that's where the power is. When you can build with other people, and they're like, oh, I come in Kitchen Crane and I getting some food. You heard of Mawty? Oh yeah, I heard of him. He did a commercial with us, or you know what I'm saying, like some shit like that, where it's like their skin in the game ain't like they trying to make food and build that up. You trying to build music. So now consciously y'all working together. Because if you like, oh, so if another artist come to town, and they like, man, I'm hungry as shit, man. Where can we eat? I got the spot. Kitchen Crane, let's go. Food smash. Like, you know what I mean? That's the way that shit works. And that's the thing that people don't get all the time. It's like you reaching out to the people that's doing what you're doing. Like, not saying it's wrong, but if you think about spreading your wings, like, you got to get people on your team that don't do what you do. That's how you move further. You know what I mean? So cool. That was a dope ass convo, but let's switch to some hot topics real quick. Want to get y'all thoughts on a couple things. So the first one is Kid Cudi last night on SNL. He did a tribute to Kurt Cobain from Nirvana. Let's pop up the picture real quick. This is what he wore. This is what Kurt Cobain wore back in the day. What are your thoughts on this?
He tried it.
Yeah,
Literally.
literally, yeah. That's the best way to say it. He kind of reached a little bit though. I mean, I don't know him though, so I can't call it. That's his tempo. I ain't trying. You know what I'm saying? It's different.
He tried it. Like you like. I mean, I can neither confirm nor deny it. Like,
hey, I'll say it's the intention that matters. What were you intending to do? You know what I'm saying? So, however he sees it in his mind, shout out to him. You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
Like I said, no. Next topic. Thank you, Will. I appreciate you for your.
Hey man, listen. I put it to you like this. Like I feel like he did it for the for the clicks. It's clickbait. Like I don't know what fucking song he did or none of that. But this was the first thing that popped up on the news feeds. It's like, oh, Kid Cudi wore a dress. Oh, Kid Cudi, tribute to Kurt Cobain.
It's not even the same pattern. Like,
yeah.
I mean, like, and look,
it's just like, I mean, to me, it can take away from the music side of things. Like I used to feel that way about Lady Gaga. Lady Gaga used to come out there with the craziest shit ever, and it'd be like, but you actually got talent. You can sing. You play instruments. Like you don't even got to do all that shit. Like why are you doing that? Or like even the Lil Nas X situation where he doing what he doing. I feel like it's all clickbait to make people be like, oh,
Satan shoes.
Oh yeah, talk about him. He's annoying. I feel like everybody was trying, like Kid. I feel like Kid Cudi was probably just trying to put his name back in the discussion again. You know what I'm saying? That's all. I agree with
the discussion for this morning. He in the discussion for today.
Next,
and next week he
post a Twitter account or something. Post a tweet. That'll get you back in there. You put a whole dress on.
Or you know what you could do? Just do a dope ass performance.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Like, whoa.
Not
like you do a dope ass performance. You know who used to do that? I felt like Chance the Rapper always did like dope ass performances when he came on SNL. And it'd be like people would talk about the performance the next day. Like, did you see Chance on SNL? His performance was dope. Not like he had on some other shit, and it's like, oh, he had on some other shit.
Okay, maybe it's me because I'm attention. I got a problem with attention to detail. If you're gonna say it's a tribute, right? Don't you think the costume got to be exactly the same? Like that's like me being like, it's a tribute to Superman, and I got a bath towel around my neck. Like it's like, bro, like at least like Kurt Cobain got a T-shirt under there, bro. This thing got taco meat and everything hanging out, bro. Like again, I'm sorry.
Hey, he wanted to show his shoulders off. He looked like Lil Duval showing the shoulders off.
At least you said Lil Duval because I was saying, what's the old boy, the point guard for the Lakers? What's his name? I always call him Lil Ugly. What's his name? I can't remember what his name is.
Dennis Schroeder.
I know.
Dennis Schroeder.
Dennis Schroeder.
Like, I can't, bro. Like, but that's his vibe. So,
Donnie, that's what I say.
Next topic, like Lyric says. So here's the deal. Y'all know that they've had the verses, Tim and Swiss had the verses challenge or beat, joints going on. So what we're going to do is we're going to pop up two artists and we want y'all to pick if they did a versus battle, who would win. All right?
Right.
So let's go. Who's
first? We have Ari Lennox versus her.
Her.
All right, that was quick. Her
for me. Yeah.
I don't want to knock Ari Lennox, but I listen. I definitely listen to her more. But shoot, Ari Lennox can blow though.
Yeah,
she can sing.
See,
so who you picking?
I don't know. Right now, I'm gonna say her. Yeah,
I'm gonna go Ari Lennox. I'm gonna go home team. I think it's just because her got that swag though. Like she got that like I've been here before type of vibe. Where Ari Lennox is like people not even familiar with the brand. But I think Ari Lennox can work
different.
I'm gonna go with her.
Yeah,
she's from Vallejo, which is up the street from me right now. So I'm going.
Lyric says Ari. Final answer.
I like it. I mean, don't get it twisted. Ari dope and Ari been dope. Like she was putting in dope music in before she was signed. So she been that. So definitely no disrespect to Ari at all.
Yeah, Raider don't like it. He like Ari.
He in the background making his noise. It is what it is. All right, who we got next?
Jet Beebs.
The battle of the Justins.
Damn.
I'm going with Timberlake 1,000%.
Everybody knows I'm a good fan of Bieber. Like I actually go ahead and listen to it, but I gotta give it to Timberlake, man.
Yeah,
Timberlake.
I'm a early '90s baby, like '93. Like that's what I, you know what I'm saying. Like I saw the whole. He was like the first, artist like that. I was actually conscious to what I was listening to, and go from NSYNC into to where he's at now. So Justin Timberlake for sure.
Yeah. Not a versus.
Hey man, I'm going with Timberlake too, though.
Yeah,
I think Timberlake. I think
Beavis ain't never had that. Justin, wow, that. He never had that.
Justin putting in that work. JT.
Yeah.
All right, who we got next?
Anderson .Paak and Bruno Mars. I'm gonna go with
Bruno.
Yeah, we'll get to Bruno.
Blowout.
Bruno.
Yeah, easy peasy.
Right. Blowout.
And I respect the hell out of Anderson .Paak because Anderson .Paak is in my playlist. Heavy.
Right. But then now we're talking, but it's like, the records wise, I mean, Bruno got the records.
Yeah, Bruno. Like,
I'm not saying one's more talented than the other, but Bruno got it.
Bruno the one.
He gave us a whole 24K magic. You know what I'm saying?
No doubt. I agree with it. Definitely excited for that.
I've seen too. Drake, easy.
Drake.
Easy.
You know this man.
now I know it. Like, now hearing the conversation earlier, definitely know you was gonna pick Drake.
Oh yeah, family. Yeah, Drake got that.
Shout out to Future though. That the song he did with Moneybagg Yo, Hard for the Next. I had that song on repeat though. I got that song on repeat for sure.
Mm-hmm. I feel like Future and Young Thug would be very interesting though.
Okay.
Young Thug would be very interesting. But Drake
I would take Future in that one. But okay. We got Drake on this one. Who we got next? Oh, Don, who you got? I'm gonna say Drake definitely for the early work. I like Drake.
Drake maybe. I'm gonna go with light skin. Light skin
yeah, let's get it.
He ain't rocking with them.
Yeah.
Nah, Donnie ain't rocking with them. Yeah. Damn.
Megan.
What we got?
Megan.
I got a lot of reasons. I got a lot of reasons.
But Cardi, man.
It's hard.
We got knees versus WAP. Knees versus WAP.
Wow.
Like Cardi did her thing. No matter how she got it, no matter if it's somebody wrote for or whatever the case may be, bro. She figured it out. She got her it factor. You know what I'm saying? Shoot, they song together was tough. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Megan. Yeah,
Megan's that. Megan's that. Yeah, she's that.
So who you picking?
Megan.
Megan's that.
Okay, both y'all pick Megan. Donnie?
Yeah. And we just talking about the music, right?
This is gonna come back to bite me.
Let's talk music.
Hold on. It's gonna come back to bite me, and when it do, it's gonna be like you gonna know about it because it's gonna be on social media. I gotta go Cardi on this one. I gotta go Cardi on that. I respect what both of them did and does, but I gotta go Cardi on it.
Yeah, I would say Cardi too. I think she didn't. I don't know. I feel like she got a string of like undeniable joints that she done left.
Yeah, that's true. Music wise, yeah, you're right. Music wise, she could give us some bump.
Bro.
Yeah, she got a string of them. At first, I was like, all right, she gonna be a one hit, but she keep putting them back out. Like, damn, they go another.
I'm not gonna lie, her album was really good. Like I liked her album, like the debut.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that was a good album.
Yeah, I agree.
And I will say this too. The thing that I would say, if I had to quantify exactly why I'm going with Cardi, I'm gonna say this: that Cardi has a lot of original stuff that is like, wow, I never heard that before. Whereas I hear a lot of, like a couple of 2 or 3 or 4 of the Megan Thee Stallion Jones, like, okay, you took that beat and you did that.
Right.
It's like, I mean, you could have missed me with that, but that's neither here nor there. But maybe that's my producer hat. But it's just like, okay, again, not knocking her talent or her skill, because at the end of the day, she probably, obviously can hang with the best of them. But it's just like I expect more if you're going to be put in that light.
bracket.
But she known for her knees, like she a damn wrestler or something. All right, let's go. Let's go. What's next?
What next?
I think this is the last one.
Well,
why y'all gotta do this to us, man?
it ain't nothing to do.
This is.
I don't even know why it's a discussion.
It's not Beyonce.
It's like
Rihanna.
Beyonce for sure.
Rihanna got it, but
Beyonce for sure. But Rihanna, Rihanna's still, you know what I'm saying?
Liars talk about Cardi and make it battle. Sorry. Anyway, things be late, but So I'm sorry. Go ahead, Tom. Beyonce and Rihanna.
I'm gonna give it to Beyonce.
Yeah, Beyonce got that. It's not even a question for real, but Rihanna is so tough. Rihanna really is like great. You know what I'm saying? You can't even knock it, but Beyonce is just a different discussion. It's kind of like Jordan and LeBron to some of the OGs that look at the game of basketball. Like it's kind of like she came right after that, so it's a little too late.
I would say let's give Rihanna a few more years, like at least 5-6 years. But I still think Beyonce. Yeah, I still think Beyonce. Yeah,
she gonna need 10 solid years, bro.
And we talking records. Beyonce.
I mean, yeah, Beyonce definitely got the records. I think she not close to stopping. She got iconic joints with the group, iconic joints by herself. I mean, I think both of them have like cult followings for sure. You know what I mean? So they definitely built their brands and done big things. But I think at the end of the day, like if you think about growing into like older age, it's definitely gonna be Beyonce still out there being able to be like in her like Patti LaBelle age, still being able to come sing and do things. To where Rihanna is gonna be like, nah, not at 60. Let's go.
Yeah. Barely.
Shoot, she can be also on her Madonna time. Who knows?
True. Well, Rihanna, you could just tell like the passion in the music isn't even the same like as Beyonce's. Like I feel like she's a dope artist, but she's not as like embedded in the love of the music for real. This is like it's been probably 10 years since she's dropped the project, or however long. Like, I feel like it's been forever. And Beyonce just seems like she just don't stop.
Keep dropping. And Lyox, I don't agree. I think Beyonce do got timeless tracks. She got timeless. I think Dangerously in Love. I think Listen.
So many.
She got some joints. She got joints where she changed the sound, like Crazy in Love. She changed the sound. She brought the DC sound. Like she changed the
Burrito. After Burrito. That was the Amerie style of track though.
I can't think of the dude name now. That's bad.
Irreplaceable was crazy.
Yeah.
Nobody forgets Irreplaceable.
Now I know you talk about Baker. I know exactly what you talk about. It's not Rodney Jerkins, but
no, it's not coming to my mind. But he definitely had the sound. But I think when he did Crazy in Love, when he did Crazy in Love, that wasn't like Amerie came after that with the like it's this one thing joint. No, Amerie had the first album, but it didn't have that sound. Think about it.
You're right.
Because this came back, it's this one thing that got me tripping, and it was that same like percussive joint. But
it's just one thing,
That's an error.
Yeah, that was a different sound. So I give that to Beyonce for making that. I mean, again, we got to pull the producer name up because I'm tripping.
I'm doing it right now because I had Rich Harrison.
Yes, Rich Harrison.
Sorry.
Another DMV producer. He definitely had the sound, but Amerie was his artist. So it was like, he definitely gave it that sound after the Beyonce joint. He found magic with that, but either way, timeless joint. Get out of here, Lark. Get out of here, Will.
I gotta say this though. My piece on this is this: they both are very talented in their own right, but I equate Beyonce to being a creative and Rihanna to be a singer. If you look at like again with the Beyonce's Lion King crap that she put on what we call it, like, and again, no disrespect, I just had to call it that because that's just me who I do. It visually she paints pictures. Rihanna hasn't done that. Rihanna just does songs, and it's like it's cool. Like bitch better have my money. Like I loved it. Like it was banging in the Well, like serious. You know what I'm saying? Man?
I feel like they're like Janet and Michael. Like Beyonce's more Michael, and Rihanna's like Janet. She'll give you a stage,
right.
She's got a performance. Like she can perform, but Beyonce's like you said, painting those pictures with the videos and creating all kind of like her stage performance is an experience.
Yes.
Right. It's like Chris Brown and Trey Songz.
She does more for the culture, as Jay-Z say.
Yes.
Rihanna is like, okay, she does good songs. It's damn good songs. Like it's not taking anything away from her. But I think also too Rihanna's candor ties into it too. Because how she just be carrying stuff and they be in the media like, I'm in fashion week, and it's like I don't really care about you now.
It's like a Black Marilyn Monroe. You know what I'm saying? Like she's created her own persona and that, you know, saying that symbol. Like she created a symbol that people look up to that have a certain like she gives off a certain persona and an aura that people like. You know, so
you know what fucked my head up? I'm gonna tell you what fucked my head up.
Rihanna's more contagious with it though.
Hey, look, here's what fucked my head up. Beyonce's aura, she's created such that aura that you're talking about that they were talking about net worths. Like Beyonce's worth, I think it was like 400 million, right?
Right.
And Kim Kardashian now is worth $1 billion.
Mm-hmm.
But Beyonce definitely was looking down on her like, you can't be in my presence.
Right.
But Kim is worth more.
Right.
Than Beyonce is. But it's Beyonce's, like you said, that aura she's created about herself. That's like she's like almost like royalty and like
exactly.
Kim's not
like that royalty aura. Rihanna got like that, you know what I'm saying? Like savage, but at the same time, it's like, yo, like my money's where my mouth is. You know what I'm saying? Like she created this like this bad girl image that like at the same time, like she got like the Fenty going on, the makeup, all that. It's just like she's just giving a different. I think they giving off two different vibes and two models, and I think when they come together, it's a vibe. You know?
Yeah, Rihanna's like the people's champion. Like she's not a great singer. She's not a great singer, to be honest.
Right. It's like if like you take away the music, it's kind of like a like when it's kind of like when Jay-Z and Diddy stand in the room. You know what I'm saying? They stand for two different things. They got two different type of energy, but you just know they top dogs. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know about that.
And that's kind of what I see. You know, with Beyonce and Rihanna.
I would say that level. I would say Jay-Z and Nas. That's how I would take it. I wouldn't necessarily because you said like these are two different. You know what I mean? But and again,
the people's champion.
Again, Riri she has definitely cuts. I wouldn't necessarily say quantify her as not being a great singer at all. Like I respect both of them as far as what they have put into the universe and put on canvas. Mm-hmm. But as far as by way of being someone that is like a painter and an artiste, two different conversations. And like I said, Beyonce, I gotta go.
I said she's not a great singer. I also said Janet Jackson wasn't a great singer. Like I think both of them aren't great singers, but their product, I think Will just said it, they're a product of marketing, production, of just image. Like it's a whole thing. You know what I mean? Beyonce can stand on stage and sing and do nothing else. Just stand there and deliver. She's not the greatest singer of all time, but she does have that voice. Like when she was doing Dangerously in Love or Halo, them type of joints, she'll stand at the mic and deliver.
Crazy.
I'm gonna need a little more. Janet's gonna need a little more. She's gonna have to, give you a show. She can't just stand to deliver.
Right. She's studio. Yep, facts.
And speaking of which, though, because you mentioned that leads me to my production team that I did not share earlier. Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis always looked around, and they one of the greatest producers, especially tandems that's ever walked Earth. So that part. Ooh. What else you got, bro?
All right, so that wraps up our verses. We got a couple more questions. I know this has been a longer interview, but hey, man, it's good time, so we let it flow. We let it do what it do. As we know, we just lost like a hip hop icon in DMX. So we just wanted to throw the question out there, like any thoughts or like favorite songs or anything you want to speak on about DMX.
I'll say the crazy thing is my favorite song. So before I moved to Maryland, when I was still living in New York in Queens, we used to have Time Warner Cable, right? And on Time Warner Cable, they used to have like these on demands. Like there was like these songs you can just listen to, like music choice. And mind you, this is like, what year is this? Like 07, right? And there was just music videos we could just watch, you know. So like one of the most memorable songs of DMX for me was Lord Give Me a Sign. Like that was the first, like yeah, I knew all the other songs, but those are the songs because it's like, you know, we didn't have the iPhones really, you know what I'm saying? iPhones was just getting ready to come out, you know what I'm saying? So we didn't have all the access. Internet was still slow, you know what I'm saying? And that was the song that I just used to always have on repeat. I'm like, yo, this dude is shouting and yelling crazy, but he's talking about, you know what I'm saying? Like him struggling, talking about God, talking about, and so that's like when I think DMX, honestly, and it's the most random song to think, like that's the first song that always comes to mind is Lord Give Me a Sign. Then you got, you know, Up in Here, you know what I'm saying? Where the Hood At, where else? What else did I like? What They Really Want. So like he definitely got a lot of songs, you know, like it wasn't like I'm not gonna say he was an artist that I listened to, you know, time and time again, but that was just somebody that was just part of my childhood, being from New York, and you know what I'm saying, just know, okay, you know, this is a New York native, you know what I'm saying? That song really just spoke to me. And I'll say about his passing, I don't know, especially this last year, these last few years, I've just been trying to research more about, you know, mental health for, you know, people, for us, you know what I'm saying, for Black people. And I feel like it's something that's really been disregarded. You know what I'm saying? Like I remember, like I had to go. I was getting like I wasn't getting Adderall pill, I was getting Vyvanse, right? Because I was having difficulty focusing this and I thought I was like, you know, let me just try it out. But the terms with it is, as he was giving the pills, like I really had to sit down with a therapist and talk to him. And the first thing I thought of, I was like, are you meaning to tell me you're about to, like, you live in Annapolis by a lake, and you know what I'm saying? Like, you're not from my world, you know what I'm saying? It has nothing to really do about race. It's just like more so like, how are you about to really relate to me? You know what I'm saying? And then I was like, damn, at least I had the access to that, you know what I'm saying? And it wasn't really the best thing, you know, no disrespect to the therapist, but I'm like, damn, what about a lot of people that come from certain conditions, you know what I'm saying? Especially when it comes to music, you know what I'm saying? Like, and you look at a lot of these Black artists, you know what I'm saying? And just artists in general, like their life is moving so fast and there's so much going on that sometimes they don't have the time to properly mentally like take care of their mental health. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not prioritized. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, you popping perks, you're doing this and a third, and you're on the go. You're not even able to process what's really going on. Sometimes you perform, you think you're dehydrated, but it's really because of shit that you've been going through, or you know what I'm saying, drugs or whatever the case may be. So I think, I forgot who said it. Was it Master P that was saying we just need to have like a union, you know what I'm saying, or something in place to make sure, and it doesn't have to be about artists or producers or anybody in a celebrity, you know, platform, just us in general, people that's in the streets, you know what I'm saying, going through PTSD, really, you know what I'm saying, that they just need a certain outlet through people that understand where they're coming from. It, and I know it's difficult, you know what I'm saying, because, you know, we get hard-headed at times when we got to sit and talk to somebody because we were taught inadvertently that we don't do that, you know what I'm saying? Oh, we don't talk to therapists, we don't do this, we don't do that. It's after when we get older, you know what I'm saying, that we realize, oh, maybe I needed this. And some of us still have ourselves intact to go find the help we need, but sometimes it's too late. You know what I'm saying? Like the brain is a delicate, you know, organ. So that's how I see about it. So, you know, rest in peace. But I really feel like he definitely did need the help. You know what I'm saying? But like Charlamagne was saying in the interview, like he was battling his demons outwardly, you know what I'm saying? But to me, I still think there was other demons that he wasn't able to, you know what I'm saying, to really bring out. You know what I'm saying? Like we don't know everything. Just because somebody, like to me, I have this notion that if somebody's talkative, it means that they're hiding something, right? Because they can sometimes you can talk somebody's ear off because you're able to tell them a lot of shit that and people be like, oh, he's talking, but it makes it easier for you to cover things that you really don't want to talk about. Because you're so good at talking about everything else. You know what I'm saying? So
control the narrative.
You know what I'm saying?
That's that LeBron stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Control. So, yeah. I mean, Yeah, I mean that song, like the Lord Give Me a Sign joint, like that's he did that Breakfast Club interview talking about that.
Wow.
You saw that, but go back and look at that, like where he really broke down, like just writing that and coming up with that song. I think his talent or gift was, I mean, his transparency was one of the things that, like, you met him or you was around him or like, you saw him, you felt like he was being him. Like sometimes in music, people, you got to create a character and like, okay, now I'm this character and that's what I'm doing. I think people was always like, he was him. No matter what, exactly. Like that was the genuine him. And I think he just, addiction is a underrated like disease that people don't like really, I think, give enough, I don't want to say credit, but like attention to.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like if you see somebody on drugs or like alcoholism or things like that, you just think, oh, you messing yourself up. You need to get yourself right. As if it's that easy. As if any person is saying, I want to do something that's really, that's going to mess me up in that way. I mean, there's suicide and people who have those thoughts, and that's that depression, and that's a whole nother thing. But I think people know sometimes the effects of it, but the high that they get once they get addicted to it, that's what they're chasing. It's kind of like we talked about music earlier. Once you get a taste of that high that music gives you, what do you do? You want to get it again. You want to get it again. You want to get it again. So I think, we just don't pay enough attention to addiction and like what people need for that. And I think that is a part of like mental health that you were talking about. And like, I don't know if there's a great way to fix it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if there's a perfect path you take. I know there's programs and things you go through. But you're always working. Like if you have an addiction, you're always working to beat that addiction. You never actually, people with addiction say you never actually beat it. You're always working. Every single day is a work in progress. So, I think DMX showed like, again, transparency and vulnerability, which is something that as a hip hop artist, you never like in the boot camp of being a hip hop artist, you never hear and be vulnerable. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's not one of the things that comes along in the playbook. Like,
hello?
Yeah, no, it's okay. You probably experienced technical difficulties. It happens. What he's saying is true. You know what I mean? And I think at the end of the day, what you back, Baker?
Yeah, I'm back. My bad. I took a break. But yeah, he was vulnerable, and I think that was the quality that people really like fell in love with him as an artist, was his like vulnerability and his openness. So definitely a loss in the industry. Prayers out and condolences to his family.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing with me was so first of all, to answer the first question, Slipping is my favorite one.
Yeah, I like Slipping too.
That's my favorite one. Like literally, it balanced out a lot of everything. But him speaking on his demons on top of just excellent production, and it creating a vibe. It almost gave me that Biggie Sky's the Limit vibe. Sky's the Limit is my favorite Biggie song of all time. So it resonated with me. With regard to him, though, I think he just was 100. Like and Baker, you let me know if you disagree, but I feel like we had a mutual friend. His name was Ren. Rest in peace to Knuckles. Ren had a lot of the qualities that DMX had, whereas he wasn't scared to be himself. You know what I'm saying? And I think at the end of the day, that's really what gravitated people towards DMX. The same thing with Tupac. I think, what I'm saying, when Tupac, passed, it was like the next person in line was DMX. You know what I mean? And there's always space for a person to just be themselves and just be open, just be an open canvas, yo. You know what I mean? And not scared to just challenge perspectives and notions and so forth and so on. At the end of the day, all you can be is yourself. And I think that's the one thing that I respected about DMX, is that he was about himself. He spoke openly about the things that people challenged on. He spoke openly about the things that people didn't challenge on. He just spoke openly. You know what I mean? And I respect him for it. He did the notorious Jan Van Zant interview speaking about his with addictions, and he was just like, no, I'm always gonna be addicted to it. Like, it is what it is. You know what I mean? So he knew what time it was, and I respect him so much for it, because it wasn't he wasn't trying to placate somebody, or wasn't scared to lose vendors or people that were supporting him. He was, at the end of the day, he was like, look at me, and so I'm saddened to see him go, but I'm happy to see him get his wings.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And I do want to shine light on, not to take shine off of him specifically, but also, the fact that Jay-Z and Beyonce was like, look, we're going to buy back all of his masters. Give him to his kids.
That was dope.
It's crazy. You know what I mean?
I don't know if that's real, though.
You don't
mean to break in on that. I just don't know if it's confirmed that it actually, that was a true story. Just because, it would be a great move. It would be awesome, but they were saying that they didn't think it was that actually happened.
Okay.
Yeah. So to be confirmed, let's say.
Yeah. So if it did, awesome. If it didn't, I'm erroneous and I apologize. But in the grand scheme of things, I mean, from what I've heard, I mean, it's that would be a dope gesture. Why not? Because I would do that for, what I'm saying. If I had the money, I would do that for any one of you guys. You know what I'm saying? And make sure your families had it, because it's the way it's supposed to be. You know what I mean? So here's that. So that's all I have to say about that.
That's real.
Let me switch the topics. What's next for you guys?
Shoot, we just getting started, man. I think right now is, Kobe said it best. You know what I'm saying? It's not about, where you land. It's really about the journey. You know what I'm saying? And every day, like, it's weird. Every time I hit a milestone, I feel like, okay, this is the beginning. And then I hit another milestone, like, okay, this is the beginning of that. So I'll say I'm just looking forward to more beginnings. You know what I'm saying? In the business world wise, I think the engineering has been good. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's allowed me to get into a lot of doors. You know what I'm saying? But right now, I think what I want to just dive into more is the executive producing. I feel like I've been kind of doing that already. You know what I'm saying? I just want to be able to do it in a bigger, more consistent scale, focus on production. I know how to engineer, so it's like I don't mind having another engineer, you know what I'm saying, overseeing the project as far as mix-wise, but I know how to do it too, so I can kind of go in there and be like, okay, cool, this is good, let's tidy that up, because I know there's a lot of engineers better than me out there that want to school, that have the proper education, that really get the gist of it, you know what I'm saying? But it's like, okay, cool, let me come here and give it my sound, you know what I'm saying? Let me put that signature sound in there to make it sound complete in my eyes or in my ears, you know what I'm saying? Based off of whichever artist, that's hitting me up to work with them, you know what I'm saying, to put their projects together. So I think that's the new goal, is like, I really want to start working on projects for people, you know what I'm saying, in a bigger scale. I feel like, with all the traveling I've done, luckily it hasn't been in vain, you know what I'm saying, because a lot of people can travel, you know what I'm saying, take nice pictures, but it's like, did you really, you know what I'm saying, do anything? You know what I'm saying? Like, I realized, like, after my last trip in LA, I realized that the fact that I couldn't put everything on the gram about what I was really doing means I'm in a better level than I was last time. You know what I'm saying? Because a few times when I was going, I was able to post everything I wanted to post. But then this time I was like, oh shit, I'm in the room with this person or that person. I gotta watch what I post. I don't want to make it seem like I'm in here like, you know what I'm saying? So the fact that I'm seeing that is like, okay, cool. It's like I'm starting to feel a new sense of elevation, and it's like, okay, cool. Like, I got the right people rocking with me. Now let me focus, and I'm always gonna be networking, but more so now it's like, okay, cool. I got all the pieces. Let me just focus on my product. So I think that's where I'm at with it now.
Indeed, Marty.
I feel like for me, it's time for me to, like, as one of my close friends just said, they see me putting dots together. Like, I feel like throughout the years, I was always working on different aspects of my arsenal, and now I feel like I'm finally finding a way to connect all the dots. Like, whether it be finally, like, releasing, like, 'cause I feel like for where I'm at, like Tone just said, it's always felt like a new beginning every time I've elevated to another level. But this time it feels good to know that I have a fresh mindset and I've broken the bad habits of the way I used to think. that kind of held me back from really just venturing out and seeing what I really got. You know what I'm saying? So, like, for example, I've always kind of thought of like every year, like I need to focus on some big project. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like what that kind of stops me from doing is kind of just venturing out and seeing what sounds people already rock with. So it's like this year I decided just to start fresh because, you know, for where I'm at in the game, even though I'm not like at the highest of levels, I feel like I've done a lot for someone who hasn't even really dropped 2 projects. You know what I'm saying? So I'm really looking forward to just dropping some new music and seeing song by song which one people are gravitating towards most. So for me, that's where I'm kind of at with it, and just looking forward to also doing some production for more of my favorite artists. Because this past year kind of actually was like a milestone for me to be able to produce for some of the guys that I used to look up to in the area. You know what I'm saying? So I'm ready to take it to the next level now. So that's how I'm looking at it. I'm ready to go ahead and keep seeing what the people gravitate towards, elevate as an artist and producer. You know, so that's what I'm trying to do right now.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Nice.
Overseas too, y'all. I ain't gonna lie. I want to see what's going on over there. You know what I'm saying?
Big market.
It's different. It's a good vibe. It's a good vibe. Definitely make those flights, man, because it's definitely a good vibe. It's definitely a good experience to get overseas and check things out wherever you go. Definitely stuff. Yeah. Absolutely.
That's a bet. That's what I'm thinking, fam.
Okay.
So go ahead and let people know where they can find you online. Go ahead and drop your ats and your pages and where can they find you?
Follow your boy at Tone Down for What? TONEWODOW. Let me start over.
Take it down.
Tone Down for What? All spelled out. TONEDOWNFORWHAT. All spelled out on all, IG, Twitter. Yeah, I think that's about it, man.
Yeah, and then everything.
The billboard soon. You know
nah, but
it's gonna be a little easier soon, to find me. So.
And y'all can find me at Mawty Maw. That's MAWTYMAW, and that's on all platforms. YouTube, you can subscribe on YouTube. Follow me on IG, Twitter, Apple Music, Spotify, all that. So Mawty Maw, MAWTYMAW. Yeah,
indeed.
Nice. Well, we've hit like an hour 53 minutes, so we done chopped it up again. But like definitely a great conversation. Like I said, we love bringing on people like who grinding, who at it, who working at it, who making things happen. And we've been privileged enough to see you guys kind of working for some years now and putting in the work, and we've definitely seen the growth. So we definitely want to bring you guys on to Flu West to chop it up and see how things are, see where you're going. So we appreciate the conversation.
Appreciate you for having us.
Same here, for sure.
Absolutely. Remember what we said, like work, connect, make things happen. You got 2 brothers out west who got your back. When y'all out here, hit us up for sure. I'm in the Bay, Donnie in LA. Hit us up.
No question. Appreciate it.
I know Donnie looking at me like, you heard that, right?
I'm swear to the white meat, bro. I swear.
we locked in this year for sure.
Indeed. And Marty, like I told you, I got you on the drive, man. So if you tell him what he need, man, and he know I come through.
That's a bet
for sure. That's love. I appreciate it, family.
Of course, man. Today, like you said, we fam, man, and that's all that matters, man. Good to see young brothers coming up. And any way I can help contribute to that, any way that we can help contribute to that, it is what it is, brother. Like you you guys do us proud, man. Real loud.
Thank you. For real. Appreciate it.
Of course. Listen, Baker, you got any last words? Because I was getting ready to walk the dog with it. I just ain't want to,
He's about to walk the dog. Those were my last words.
There it is. That's what I thought. I just ain't look. At the end of the day, it is what it is. This is another dope episode of 2 Flu West. That's what we do. Be sure to like and subscribe on all social media platforms at 2 Flu West. It's just how it sounds. No ebonics or nothing. It's real simple to find us, man. We are where you find us at. Like what he said. You see him pointing. There it is. make sure you check us, man. Check out these brothers, man. Mawty Maw and Tone. These brothers is definitely popping. And if you ain't hip to them now, make sure you get hip before you get left. And that's just that. You know what I'm saying?
Price about to go up.
Yeah. Man.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
The show, fam.
You know what I'm saying? Because you know it is what it is. But nonetheless, it's all love. Stay masked up, man. Even in the event that not everybody opening it back up, man. Man, still with you, man. Damn mask. They said they got viruses that's busting through the daggone vaccine now. I don't got the vaccine, but you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want that shit. So at the end of the day, like, I'm good where I'm at. I'm still wearing my mask for another.
Pull his mask out and everything.
So that's that. But I see y'all socially distance, man. You socially distance in there, just a little too close. But it's all good now.
We tried, but you know, my man phone was acting up. I was
my shit was acting up.
Y'all good.
Nah, y'all good. Y'all close, man. It is what it is. But nonetheless, it is like I said. This is Donnie B got the beats, along with my brother Nicholas Beck. And we on make sure you check out Tone and Mawty Maw. We had Riquel on there, man. Shouts out to Riquel V, man. She couldn't make it. She had some other things that she had to get into, but definitely nothing but love and respect to her and what she got going on. Hopefully we'll bring her back soon. Shout out to the DMV. Shout out to Breeze. Shout out to the Murph and After Hours Sports Studios. You know, it's all love, man. PG County, DMV, USA. We standing up. It is what it is, man. Do what y'all need to do. And at the end of the day, we letting the planes fly. So we out.
All right.